So my name is Qiyu Zhou, as you can see on there, and today I'm here to talk about how I accomplished my dream. So by a show of hands, does everybody here have a dream? Yes? Yes? All right. Has anyone here accomplished that dream? Yes. All right. So what kind of dreams have you accomplished? Anyone? Okay. Well, anyways, I'm kind of here to talk about like how we're going to accomplish a dream, or what is the pathway to accomplishing a dream. So first, you might ask, like, how does one become an expert on something at such an age? I'm 17. I wouldn't really necessarily say I'm an expert on chess. I am only a Woman Grandmaster. There's still the International Master and the Grandmaster title waiting for me, which are my next dreams. But so for right now, I am a World Youth Chess Champion for under 14 girls, which I won in 2014. I did win the Canadian Women's Championship last year, and I've also represented Canada at the Women's World Championships this year in Iran, where I was the youngest player. So I represent Canada right now, but I have also played for other countries. I've played for Finland, I've played for France. So what is my story? Basically, I started playing chess at the age of 3 years and 10 months. So I started by going to the beach every day. I was a very playful kid. I mean, which 3-year-old is not playful, right? So on the way to the beach, there was a chess club. It had glass windows, which was really attractive for me because they laid out the sets right at the windows. So when you walk past, you see them, and you're like, oh, this looks cool. I really want to get into this game. So I started playing chess. And I wanted to share this quote with you. It's from one of my favorite books. It's called The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Maybe some of the adults here have read it. Anyone? Yeah? Yeah, okay. So it's a very good book. And this quote comes from there. It says, "It's the possibility of having a dream that makes life interesting." Well, you see, for me, having a dream is maybe not necessarily about reaching the end goal. Of course, it is. But it's something that gives my life purpose. Like, I want to live life to the fullest because I have something to do. So, a bit about my early childhood. I was born in China. I am Chinese. I lived there until the age of 3, which I moved to France. And yes, there's my mom. She's in the back of the room. Yeah, and my dad. So after China, I moved to France, where I lived for about 1 year in the coast, which you can see in the bottom corner there. I started playing chess in a local club. I played a lot with my dad at home. He bought me a glass set for Christmas, and we started playing that. And I remember I lost a lot at the start. I just started out, I was losing my games, and I was absolutely devastated every single time. I mean, imagine a 4-year-old, like, not even 4 yet, like 3 years and like 12 months, like 11 months, playing chess, like her first game of chess, and like crying because she lost. It's like, I absolutely hated losing. I could not stand the thought of losing. Like, I don't even think I understood what it meant at that time. But, okay, everyone said I had a lot of talent, which I assume I did. In that picture, you can see me playing with like 3 boys. I actually won that game, and they were pretty mad about it. Yeah, so when I lost a game, I would sometimes throw pieces. I actually broke the rook for my glass set. I remember this very clearly. The rook was cracked clean off because I threw it against the wall. So I think the moral of the story here is that if you want to be good at something, you have to be persistent. Yeah, sure, you might lose a couple of games at the start. Yeah, you'll probably lose a lot of games at the start. You will not win a tournament until like your second year playing chess or something, probably. So, but the moral of the story is to always be persistent, to continue doing it. The most important thing is to like perseverance. You gotta play, keep playing. So I took some baby steps. I played in provincial tournaments in France. Most of the girls were quite a bit older than me. They were 9, 10 years old, but I did quite well. So I won my first medal. I got a bronze medal in the provincial championships for Provence, which is like the southern area of France, which is quite decent. And I started playing like national championships for under 10 girls and all that kind of things. I never actually won any like gold medals, silver, like top 3, but I did well. I got 4th place once, I got 5th place. So yeah, that kind of started my chess career. So here is an article from 2004. So it says Qiyu enfant prodige de échec. So it basically says, yeah, child prodigy in chess. So what the article says, you can't see it very clearly, it's an old article. It says that like she will sweep the world someday. That's kind of what they meant. Unfortunately, I haven't quite done that. Working on it, but let's see how it goes. But yes, that was the story that was published at the time. And that is my first coach, I would say. His name was Gilles. So he was helping me in the club in France. It's very important that you find a mentor. You find someone who you can play with a lot. He doesn't have to be strong. He doesn't have to be a grandmaster. It can be anyone, just as long as you have someone to practice with. Preferably a lot of people to practice with, actually. You want to have different people you can interact with because everybody has a different play style. Everybody has different ways of making moves. So after France, I went to Finland. Is this Finland? This is Finland. Okay, so I moved to Finland, and I lived up north, really up north. So my city had about 200,000 people. How many people live in Kingston? Okay, so a bit more Finland. Finland has 5 million people in total. So anyways, in the first year, 2005, that I lived there, I played in the Finnish national championships. The thing was, in Finland, there weren't many girls playing chess. Like, quite literally none. So the first year I played chess, I was playing in the under 10 boys section because they do not have a girls section at all. And they also don't have any age groups younger than under 10. So the first year I played the under 10 boys section, I won it. And that really annoyed a lot of guys. Like it's very, yes. So as you can see in the picture, they don't look very happy, I would say. I would assume they're not very happy. Well, anyways, I would say my winning the championship actually motivated a lot of them to pick up chess and to keep playing. Because the following year, in 2006, I thought I'd win the championship again, right? But no, I think I finished like 6th. So a lot of the guys really picked it up and started playing. And as of right now, I'm still friends with a lot of them. I know one has become a grandmaster. He's like 2,500 now. He's I would say he's a lot stronger than me. So it really goes to show, even if you don't succeed at first, like if you keep trying, you'll get there, right? Even if you do get beat by a 5-year-old girl in the process. So yes, it's all about being persistent. As I mentioned before, I hated losing. Every tournament I go to, I'd have the mindset that I have to win. But you'll see, this has actually a problem to it. It has a flaw, which I'll talk about later. So I came second at the Finnish school championships a couple times. So basically, I had a competitor. He was the same age as me. We would play every tournament together. I would win the Finnish national championships in summer. He would win the Finnish school championships in the winter. And this system kept on for 5 years until I left in 2010. So I was really upset about that, actually. I wanted to win both titles, but unfortunately in life, you cannot have it all. So imagine a 5-year-old telling reporters you want to become a world champion. Anyways, not a lot of people, maybe people laughed at me a bit, like a 5-year-old saying stuff like this. But so in 2008, I was very upset about not winning the championships. I kept thinking that I have to become a world champion someday. So that's what really kept me going, playing all these world championships, playing all these national championships. For me, it was all about winning, right? I'm a very competitive person. I want to become the best at what I do. So that's what drove me to keep playing. And it'd be great if the slide came up, but... Is that powering up? Okay, that's fine. I'll keep talking. So I'll just keep going, I guess. So in 2010, I'm Canadian right now, so I moved to Canada. And yeah, I moved around a lot, and I started going to middle school there. So in Finland, there wasn't a lot of chess, right? I lived in a city with 200,000 people, which is even less than Kingston. It was really up north. The closest, larger city, the capital city, was 700 kilometers away. So it was either by flight or you had to drive for 6 hours. So it was quite far. I didn't get much exposure to chess. The most exposure I got was from the local chess club, which had 4 people, which was literally me, one of my friends, and my parents. That was quite literally the entire chess culture in my city. So it came up. So it was very difficult for me to get any exposure to chess, which is what I really like about Jamaica. In Jamaica, we're trying to get kids in schools to play. We have clubs. So I think this is something that's very important. So yes, as I mentioned, I moved to Canada in 2010. I started playing with the Canadian flag. And in Canada, there is a bigger chess culture. I wouldn't say huge, but in Toronto especially, there are a lot of clubs. It's a very good environment for chess. And that is where I got my first FIDE rating. And for me, I think for a lot of players, if you want to play internationally, it is very important to get a FIDE rating. It's very important to play other players. It's important to play tournaments. It's important to play with everyone. So that was good for me, and my club was very supportive. I have to thank them for that. My club in Ottawa, which I moved to in 2011, every Thursday we'd meet up, we'd play a long game of chess. I'd recommend playing long games, 90-minute plus 30-second games if you really want to improve. A lot of blitz is good if you want to improve, have fun tactics with your friends, of course. Nobody wants to play 90 plus 30 with their friends. It's too long. But if you really want to improve, 90 plus 30 minutes is the way to go. So I won the the first year I went to Canada, I did not win the national championships, but I won it the year after. And I started playing against grandmasters, which was totally new for me because there were no grandmasters in Finland. And in Canada, I had these chances to play against Beitor Sambuev, who was from Montreal. Montreal actually has a lot of tournaments. So the first couple of years I was in Canada, I played there, which was good exposure, which is kind of what we're trying to do here with Jamaica. We're trying to get other players here, right? You want to play against strong players. That's the whole purpose. So there's another quote by Paulo Coelho. There's only one thing that makes a dream impossible to achieve, the fear of failure. And I wanted to share this quote with you because the year I won the 2014 World Youth Chess Championships, I did not win the Canadian National Championships. Can you imagine not winning the national championships and then going to the World Youth and saying, yeah, I think I'm going to win this? Yeah, probably no. Yeah, I was really surprised actually. I think I went in the tournament thinking, yeah, this should be easy. I am 700 points higher rated than the second ranked player. 700 points. And I lost my first game against a 1200. I was 900 points higher rated than her. Yes. So everything happens in chess. So this is the kind of story of being persistent. If you're lower rated, yes, you can totally beat a 20,000 player. Rating doesn't mean everything, of course. That's also one of my points, but yeah. So I did not win my national championships. I was extremely angry and depressed about it. And also, 2014 was not a bad year. I was going to high school. I was putting school in front of chess now. I had a lot of more priorities. I knew I was going to high school. I wanted to focus on school. So I was really debating, do I really want to play the World Youth? Maybe it's time for me to just kind of drop out. I have won my national champions. I've been to the World Youth. I have a silver medal. But it was it's not enough, right? Because when I was 5, I promised that I'd become the world champion someday. So that kind of just kept me going. So yes, in 2014, I did make the Canadian Women's Olympiad team. I was with my teammates playing in Norway about a month before the World Youth actually, which is when I decided, okay, I will play the World Youth. If I don't win, this will probably be my last World Youth. And I'll probably just kind of zone out of chess. But thankfully for me, I did go to South Africa. It was 2 weeks of grueling games. I got sick on my first day there because I decided to go swimming on the 30th floor in 20-degree weather. Yes, so I got sick. And after I got sick, I had a really bad cough. And imagine playing chess when sick. It's not really fun. It's very tiring. Yeah. So 2 weeks of chess, and it was just, yeah. But here's another quote. When you want something, all the world conspires in helping you to achieve it. So I had a dream since I was 5 of becoming the world champion. It took me literally 9 years to achieve that dream. So just imagine, if you have a bigger goal, how many years that might take you. The fact is, you might never achieve it. Like, be honest, be realistic. Some goals are very difficult. Everyone has goals. It's impossible for everybody to achieve their goal. But along the way, you learn so much. You gain so much from your experiences. Playing chess isn't just about, oh, I want to become the world champion. I want to be #1 in the world. It's about what you learn along the way. Without chess, I would never have come here. I would never be in Jamaica. I would never have gotten to travel to all these places, meet all these people, and have been able to experience all these different cultures. So, thankful for me, in 2014, I did become Women's World Under 14 Girls Champion. And, oh yes. So, as I mentioned before, having a dream is what really makes your life interesting. If you don't have a goal, you don't really know what you're doing, right? But if you set a goal, if you set a high dream, if you set a really high goal, along the way, you'll learn so much. Like with chess, even if I didn't become a world champion, I mean, I've been to 30 plus countries, 5 continents, something like that. So it's given me the chance to meet amazing people. It's given me the chance to really experience what life has to offer. Before, in 2013, in 2012, I thought of chess as kind of a struggle. I had to win every game. But when it wasn't working for me, as my coach recommended me the book, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. And in the book, it's kind of it follows the journey of a boy who's searching for his dream, actually, which is very much like me. And the story goes like, okay, so maybe if I change my attitude, maybe if I think of chess something other than a chore, as something other than I have to do, it's going to become better. So that's kind of my motto. So I balance chess with fun now. I have a lot of fun when I go on tournaments, but at the same time I try to do my best, but it's okay if I don't become the champion every time. So thank you.